Hello, hello everyone. Hi. As you know, I have mentioned in my post that recently I have been learning about technical program management, system design, then agile coaching. So I was trying to find an opportunity where I could apply all these skills collectively to enhance my technical program management skills, because the only way you can say actually you have learned the things when you are actually able to apply it. I have been thinking about it, what could be the way to apply these learnings, and then I thought, why not find actual probable business problem and build a solution around it by collaborating with the various stakeholders, and in turn have a technical program which will be solving the problems. For that, I have created one fictitious company. So welcome to my company. This is Carve Global Consulting, and our tagline is carving potential into performance. Okay, this is a mid-sized company, but the fast growing company. So one day, what happens? The chief delivery officer of this company calls me into the meeting. By the way, this chief delivery officer is my father, but actually he's a very tough boss into the office, and he's a completely different person at home. The problem is, he shares me what are the problems that he's facing. Okay, so the agenda of that meeting was this one. So what are the existing reporting struggles? So what happens? He's a chief delivery officer, so he has multiple accounts under him, and every twice week we need to submit a report, okay, to him, and this is the collective report of all the projects under various accounts. But currently what happens, the various project managers, PMOs under various accounts collect this data manually into Excel, and then this data is shared with the global PMOs, okay, which in turn collects all the data of the project status and resource allocations from various accounts, and then again he generates the report, which is then referred by this. But what is happening, by the time we start working on the reporting, it is already 1 week that is required for the account level project managers and PMOs to collect the information. And then once all the information is passed on to the global PMO, it again takes almost a week to prepare a consolidated report. So it is taking a lot of time because there is no any uniform way to generate the insights for the reports for the projects under various accounts. So what happens, by the time the report is generated, it is already 2 weeks of old report. So it basically delays all the decision making, if at all, if there is anything that is read in that project report which could be potentially influenced by someone of this caliber. Yeah, so this is the first problem. And one of the few more problems that we identified, that one of the top developers and architect that he knew, they were actually working on the less complexity project. He also brought one thing to my notice, that one of the extremely highly credible project manager that he had hired a couple of months ago, he was actually not tagged to the high value account. So basically the risk that he highlighted is that we are not optimally utilizing our talent. So there might be a risk that we might lose this talent if they are not allocated to the right projects as per their capabilities. And of course another risk is the delivery risk. Then what he told me, that let's work out on the centralized tool. You align with all the delivery managers of respective accounts, all the resource managers, HRs and project managers. understand how they are currently working on to the reporting, okay, get their inputs and get their feedback on how we can build a centralized tool so that it works for everybody. And then this tool should be real time without any manual touch points, because currently we have several manual touch points, one at PM level, then DM level, then PMO level, and then again one manual touch point at the global PMO level. So this is the second agenda. And then while I was leaving his room, one of the point he highlighted is that we are a service company and now let's focus on a product based mindset. He said, who knows that these tools become so world class that even we can sell this as a product. This is one of the point that he highlighted, which is going to be completely bringing the total new mindset into while we build this project. So definitely this is going to encourage all the people as well, whoever that is going to work on this. And then the one of the important action point that he gave me is to build a solid business case, very bulletproof business case, and he wants me and him to present this solid business case to the investors. And he has given me 1 month of time to prepare a solid business case. And now I have to work with all the stakeholders and understand their pain points and what could be the potential solution, what could be the cost, and we both will be presenting this business case to the investors. Yeah, hopefully that business case gets approved and I actually get to work as a TPM here. See you then for the business case video. Thank you. Hello, welcome everyone for the episode 2 of the business case. I'm very happy to inform you all that our business case is approved, and here we go for the episode 2 of the business case. And before we delve into the episode 2, I want to thank you all for your tremendous response for my episode 1. I really never expected for this much response, and because of your positive response only, I was so motivated to give my level best for the business case video. And I would like to share my learnings as well while I was developing the business case. And as the 15 minutes, in the 15 minutes, I will not be able to cover each and everything that I have into my business case, but I will try my level best to cover the bullet points. And anyways, you will have the PDF to go through the detailed business case. And while developing the business case, I have learned a lot because I was a TPM, yeah, and TPM is an outcome-based role. And on the top of that, I had an entrepreneurial mindset because of my own company, which is Curve Global. So while developing the business case, I had to think from all the end-to-end aspects like technical, finance, and then delivery. So if I can think of a technical, some of the things that I had to develop into which I would not have thought of otherwise. For example, if I'm developing an application and then reporting on the top of it, then I had to think from UI to the reporting. If I talk about UI, then what are the UI technologies? Where will the UI will be hosted? UI files will be hosted onto the web server. Then comes the backend. Yeah. Then suppose if we are talking about the Python as a backend, then from terms of object-oriented programming, I even had to think like, oh, so here resources could be my class, and then resource manager, employee, project manager, those could be the subclasses. I mean, to that level, this journey had made me think. Then if we talk about the DB, yeah, then OLTP, the backend data onto the OLTP, then we will have OLAP, So even as it is going to directly impact the costing, I really had to think what kind of reporting could be done onto the OLTP, what kind of reporting that could be done onto the OLAP. So basically, this is the level of detail, I had to dig into, which definitely I wouldn't have thought of otherwise. This is of the technical aspect. And then coming to the finance aspect, if so come up to the ROM budget, I had to be very clear about the volumetrics. So what I have considered, the capex, then opex, yeah, then what would be the payback period in the happy path, non-happy path, then what will be the ROI as well. So from all these aspects I had to consider, because I am into the TPM hat. Then after technical and finance related things, then here comes the value delivery. Yeah, even into the value delivery, let's say we are getting approval for some of the MVPs, then we, as my own company, I have to make sure that whatever that budget I have allocated, I am making most of that budget through agile ways of prioritization wherever possible. So this is about the various learnings that I got while I was working on the business case. So it was tremendous learning experience for me. Then coming to the actual business case, I will cover what are the main points that are driving entire business case. So the problem statement, as you all know, and you can go back to the episode 1 again. I will again give the link for the same video for those who are watching this video for the first time. So as you know, the reporting part of our organization is currently scattered. So by the time our reports reach to the chief delivery officer, it is almost 2 weeks, because there are almost 90 hours that are spent on the manual reconciliation at the account level PMOs, then global level PMOs, that are 90 hours per week. That is the opportunity that we thought that could be solved if we build the centralized project governance tool. And on the top of that, we can do various kind of analytical reports as well in terms of resource management. So let's say on this, the main thing that we are also considering as a the benefit is that out of 2500 employees currently, if we consider the 375, 15% are currently onto the bench. So out of those 375, even if we keep a target, let's make 25 people billable for at least 70 days. Even this minimal amount of target will give us 420k of revenue. Yeah, so this is the net revenue potential that we have. Then 129k, so this 90 hours per week into the, let's say, around 50 weeks or 48 weeks, considering leaves and all those things, even that is going to give us 129k of saving, which we can effectively utilize this many hours elsewhere to add more. So this I am talking about net tangible value adds. And apart from that, you can see into the business case, there are numerous aspects, numerous ways with the help of which we can do enhanced reporting, to generate even more value benefits. So this was about the volumes, that is going to drive this success criteria and business case. Then we have also included make or buy. So why to directly develop in-house? Then we have also figured out what are the other tools that are available into the market, but that is having licensing. Yeah, we are 2500. So again, even the read license, even if you consider $10 each, that is going to cost a lot. So considering all these facts, we have come to the conclusion. We recommended to build in-house. And as you know, there is another potential to make this world-class tool and sell it as a product. So that is also another angle to it. Yeah. Then coming to the finance as well. In the finance as well, after spending 320k, when we are expecting as a hard commitment into the 12th month, our cumulative net gain will neutralize our initial invested 320k of the capex. Yeah. So this also I have invested. So even to come to that, I have considered OPEX cost here, OPEX cost of infrastructure cloud cost, and then our resources cost. I have considered 2 FTs for the operational support for the MVP. Then coming to another angle from the finance, which is driving the overall capex, I have considered, let's say there are 10 project managers across the 5 accounts, and let's say there are 250 projects running at a time. Now to come to the ROM, and overall cost, what I have considered, let's say each of the 250 projects is updated every day. Again, this is the worst case scenario. Each of the 250 project and each of the 50 field of that tool is updated every day by every PM. Yeah, and then it is going to result into the 1 MB of the data. So again, this 1 MB how we have calculated how many characters that we will need for each of the field into the screen. So by that logic, per day, per month and per year, it is roughly 80 GB. Again, it is a very on the higher side. When we will actually go into the design phase, it may substantially reduce as well. But again, let's say if we keep it as 80 GB, then even we can another business case that we can derive from it. Why not upload the documents and do some AI on the top of it? Okay, so that also one of the use case that I just recollected, that will also give many more benefits into the long term, because we are calling this centralized tool as Gen AI, future ready AI enabled tool. Yeah. So again, that is one of the business case that I just realized while shooting this video, by the way. So again, DB we could use NoSQL DB. Again, because of that learning, I realized we can also build that kind of business case, again, user stories feature. And then coming to that 1 MB giving us 80 GB, per year. So if I consider OLTP database for the backend, we can think of 120 GB and 116 GB RAM, because those writes will not be extremely intensive, like banking transactions. And then this 80 GB data will be again passed on, stored into the GCS bucket, let's say for 1 day, and then again into the BQ, let's say for analytical reporting. So here it was a little challenging for me, to come up with the cost. Okay. In the worst case scenario, what I have assumed, again, this is the worst case scenario, 100 complex queries, let's say, are executed by 6 developer each day, then it is going to roughly cost around 19K. Yeah, but I have considered again buffer of 26K for annual budget. Yeah, so again, this is likely to reduce because we may not need this much data. I mean the TB data, whatever the TB data it will scan, because the charging is at the TB level. So based on that, again 19K is what I have considered. Again, this is going to go down, and we are happy to release the budget as well later. Yeah, so basically these are the very high factors that are going to drive my ROM cost, okay, that I have covered. Again, each and everything that I have mentioned into the PDF is having a reasoning, and I am happy to collaborate with anyone who wants to delve deeper so that we can learn from each other. Perhaps we can even make another video, and from that, the next episodes that I am thinking of could be one on the system design for this application if we were to develop this onto the cloud. I would request if there is any system architects that is interested to do some session with me, so that we can discuss end to end. You can explain what TPM should know from that angles. We can do that session. So what is the rationale behind architects to choosing X technology against Y? So those kind of discussions also we can have, and we can do some sessions. So that could be one interesting episode for. Then we can also think of further episodes, important episode, right? Agile. How the agile way we can execute this. Let's say currently I have committed the paybacks to be starting onto the 12th month, but this is hard commitment. But in a soft commitment as well, we will have a best session that we can do. Again, I invite any Scrum Master or Agile coach here to work with me for this dedicated episode 4. The challenge will be application layer, data visualization layer. How we can work together so that we are writing the features and user stories in such a way that we get our MVPs into the, let's say, 5th month instead of 12th months. But for now, we have not committed that because we do not have visibility. Again, this is one of the pain point that this tool is going to address. Let's say if I was having the clear view of our resource availability, then we could have planned or committed, that okay, let's do this into the agile, but again, as we do not have that visibility, we are not committing that, because this is the budget that we have received is for MVP. We are not having the uh, we will not be having the ring fence team which you can use it, let's say, for 1 year and keep on developing. So we have to be very correct while we build this delivery plan. So yeah, here I again invite you all to join my journey as well. So if there is anyone who is interested, architect, to discuss this, entire tool and help us learn as well, the TPM communities, that will be helpful. We can do that session. Then again, for AL coach as well, we can do that interesting session together and learn from each other. Yeah. So this is the overall the journey that I have. Yeah. And then again, don't forget to have a look at the teaser. From draw.io, I have tried to do some mock screens as well. Yeah. So this is it. So thank you again. Thank you again for your valuable response, which has motivated me, and looking forward for your feedback and collaboration. Thank you.